Today I'm going to be giving away a free t-shirt, asking and answering a question, bringing you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and revealing the comics I bought this week. And, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Clint's Comics here in Monroe, Louisiana. And folks, this is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month. Now, PCOS, as it's commonly called, affects somewhere between 1 to 10 to 1 to 20 women in the world. And when women have this, they have a hard time they have a hard time conceiving children. And the reason why I'm wearing this is because a lot of women watch my show. And I know quite a few of them who live with PCOS. But just like I said last week when I was talking about childhood cancer awareness, you may have PCOS, but it does not have to have you. All right. Let's give away a free t-shirt. All right, in last week's episode, I asked, what year did the Fantastic Four make their debut? Well, the answer is 1961. And 3 people have answered correctly, and I'm about to draw their name. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode is Kimberly Hayes from Homer, Louisiana. So congratulations, Kim. You win yourself a free tee. Wow, this is kind of interesting because Kim actually was my economics teacher back at Homer High School. You know, Kim, you don't even have to tell me what color you want. I think I already figured that out, knowing you. But here's the question for next week's episode. And this is another Fantastic Four question. Which actress played the role of Alicia Masters in the Fantastic Four movies from 2005 and 2007? Now here's a hint. And pay close attention to this hint, because when I tell you what this hint is, you won't have to use Google or anything else. She was the star of the hit TV show Scandal. Easy now, is it? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free Comic Hero tee in next week's episode. Now, I normally don't, this segment doesn't really come up anymore, but I gotta ask anyway. Any questions?
Questions I walk around in. Questions I didn't reply in. Questions
I have one question in this segment of Comically Speaking, and it comes from D'Angelo Ballou from Warren, Ohio. He asked, what do you think would happen to the Hulk if he put on the mask from The Mask? He'd become Mr. Fix-It. That's the only thing I can think of. He would either become Mr. Fix-It or he would become a cartoon character of himself. Or somewhere in between. That's a very interesting question. But that's my answer. I mean, he instead of smashing folks, he'll probably just beat up a whole bunch of thugs and all that. And then own probably about like 4 nightclubs in certain cities. And about one or 2 casinos. All right, that's it for any questions. Now, any questions, keep in mind, is a limited segment on the show. I didn't completely do away with it like I did Comically Speaking. Which reminds me, Comically Speaking is now a show of its own. So after you're watching this, or after you're done watching this rather, go ahead and watch episode 6. All right, now Brandon Ringo from West Monroe, Louisiana has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one has a bit of a militaristic and hunter's feel. Representing Rebellion Developments, we have Johnny Alpha. And representing Marvel, we have Bishop. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Johnny Alpha versus Bishop. Johnny Alpha possesses mutant eyes that allow him to see through solid objects and read brainwave patterns, limited telekinesis, superb military skills, and a yogi trick of stopping and restarting his own heartbeat. Bishop possesses energy absorption and redirection, superhuman physical attributes, and the ability to instinctively know present locations. Who will win? This fight would make Alien vs. Predator look like two kids playing Marco Polo. Alpha would try to take out Bishop with a Gallic gun, but the latter would duck every single bullet by relying on his speed. Bishop would then charge at Alpha, but Alpha uses his limited telekinesis and sends Bishop flying backwards. This would prove to be short-lived when Bishop resorts to telekinesis and returns the favor. After all, telekinesis is energy. Bishop would then find Alpha, and then it becomes strictly hand-to-hand combat. The two would trade off punches and kicks until Bishop gains the upper hand by clotheslining Alpha. He then punches him in the face repeatedly and leaves him for dead. Bishop wins. But wait! As Bishop walks away from a seemingly defeated Alpha, the latter reveals he was faking. He used the yogi trick of stopping and restarting his heart. He then uses his telekinesis on Bishop again. Then he uses mutant eyes to scan Bishop's DNA and realizes he's a mutant. Bishop comes after him, but Alpha says, "Wait! You must be a mutant, right?" Bishop replies by saying, "Yeah, what about it?" Alpha then says, "I am too." Bishop would then say, "Man, we can't fight each other. We're all we have." The two mutually end the fight and go out for drinks. This fight ends in a draw. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
You weren't expecting that to end in a draw, were you? Well, it did. Besides, mutants are scarce now. Can't be killing each other. Really, no one should kill each other. Well, unless they trespass. All right, that's it for the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. If you have a request for a fight in future episodes, contact info is down there. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is The Flash number 7. Now, this is a continuation to the opening story arc in this series. And to tell you what's been going on in it, the Speed Force, or several people in the Central City rather, have ended up being struck by lightning, and they now have the powers of the Speed Force. And it's up to the Flash to teach them how to tap into the Speed Force and to use their speed properly. One of the people that ended up with this is Dr. Mina Darwin of Star Labs, who the Flash ends up in a relationship with. Now, I know all you old school Flash fans are like, what the heck, man? But trust me. But, I don't know, but the Flash hasn't even dated, the new 52 version of the Flash hasn't even dated Iris. But anyway, the Flash, along with a member of the Central City Police Department who also has the powers of the Speed Force, Detective August Hart, end up taking down Black Hole. But all of a sudden, there's a new villain that arrives by the name of Godspeed, who actually was one of the who actually just had to be that guy. He had to be that guy that ended up having the powers, but decided to use them for evil. Well, Godspeed ends up killing everyone in Star Labs, including Dr. Mina Darwin, by taking their speed. And in number 6, we find out who the identity of Godspeed is. You guessed it, Detective August Hart. And this is a continuation of that. All right, next up is Action Comics number 964. This is part 2 of Who is Clark Kent? And in the last issue, we find out more about this Clark Kent. And I'm starting to have suspicion that it somehow, some way, might be the Clark Kent from the New 52. Now, you're probably wondering, Vic, how is that possible? He died in Superman number 52 of the previous series. Just go along with me. I might be right. Might be. All right, next up is Green Lanterns number 6. Now, remember when I went to remember when episode 5 of Comically Speaking, when I was saying that there was this one book that I was trying to find the hole, but I couldn't find it somewhere else? Well, this is it. I mean, I just came and looked for books, and lo and behold, here it was. This is the conclusion to the Red Planet story arc, where Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz are trying to stop the Red Lanterns from invading Earth. I mean, already they've plagued a whole bunch of folks with the red napalm on different parts of the world, and it's up to them as the Green Lanterns of Earth to take care of business and see their justice is done. I just had to say that. Yeah, what do you want? Hi, Billy, what do you want for breakfast this morning? Justice! All right, next up are 2 books of the same title, and those books are Detective Comics number 939 and Detective Comics number 940. Now, these are the last 2 issues of the previous story arc that just ended in the book called Rise of the Batman, where Batman, Red Robin, Batwoman, Spoiler, Orphan, and Clayface are about to take on this new threat that's invading Gotham City. Who will rise? Who will fall? Hopefully the bad guys will fall. And then next up is Titans number 3. Now, in the last issue, Abracadabra from the original DC universe, who follows Wally West, or should I say the Wally West of the original DC universe, rather. Gotta remember there's 2 of them. Decides to take on the Titans, and he does something by creating clones of the Titans, or much younger clones of the Titans when they were still wearing their old costumes. And Abracadabra ends up almost killing Tempest. Will Tempest live, or will he die? We find out in this book. And then finally, Teen Titans Rebirth. This is the prelude book to the new Teen Titans series that's premiering. I'm very excited about this because I've always been a Teen Titans fan. Although I really wasn't a fan of the Teen Titans in the new. Well, I was of the first Teen Titans team in the New 52 universe, not so much of this team that just disbanded. And Red Robin is going to be leading the team, and there's going to be other members like Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, and Kid Flash. Hopefully hopefully this book will return the Teen Titans to their more exciting ways, and not so much this other book that I read. Only read probably about like the first 14 issues of it, and I just stopped. All right, well, that's 7 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,481. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's the question for a free tee for next week's episode. Which actress played the role of Alicia Masters in the Fantastic Four movies from 2005 and 2007? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee in next week's episode. But if you don't mind buying a book from me, or rather a tee, you don't mind buying a tee from me, for adults, they're $10, and for children, they're $5. Oh boy, one more week, folks. One more week until the 3rd anniversary episode of the Comic Hero Show. Oh man, 3 years that I've been doing this show. I mean, it's been a, I mean, so far it's been a great run, but I can tell you right now, every day hasn't been Sunday. There are certain episodes that I've done where that a lot of folks just didn't watch. But here's the thing. If it's something that you really enjoy, if it's something that you love to do, don't let anything or anyone discourage you from doing that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I made a New Year's resolution a few years ago, I think when 2014 became 2015, that I will continue doing the show until I am physically unable to. Not mentally, not emotionally, but physically unable to. And hopefully that'll be for a very long time. Heck, I may even have grandkids and I'll still be doing the show. But the third anniversary episode is next week. If you're watching this, you are invited. I'm going to be over here at the store at 12 doing the show. Oh, and to sweeten the deal, I'm going to have a cake made. Just like I did in episode 100 earlier this year. And, happy birthday. A very special happy birthday to my brother from another mother, Joe Stokes. And Hillary, which happens to be his wife, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. And also a very belated happy birthday to my good friend Megan Bass. Happy birthday, Megan. And and one other thing. In addition to doing the third anniversary episode next week, I'm also going to be doing a split edition of the Comic Hero Show while I'm in Lafayette. The first half of it is going to be over at Acadiana Comics and Collectibles, and that's going to be on the first day that I'm there. And then on the second day, I'm going to be doing the other half of it at Louisiana Comic Con at the Cajun Dome Convention Center in Lafayette. So, and also, comically speaking, it's a great show, just as good as this one. Watch it. You'll love it. I promise. All right, I'm Victor. And one other thing. And then I just want to say this to all the women who are living with PCOS. Adversity is temporary. Just because you have PCOS doesn't mean that time stands still. It doesn't mean you have to wallow in it. Just live life to the fullest. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. We'll see you next week for the third anniversary episode 132, right back here at Clint's Comics. And be sure to watch Comically Speaking right after you're done watching this. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.